Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction or read-through for Chainsaw Man chapters 134, 135, 136, 137, and 138, I hope. This volume, we're starting volume 16, is 10 chapters long, so I'm going to try to split it into 5 and 5, if they're not too crazy long, which they usually aren't. I feel like 5-ish chapters is perfectly fine for a Chainsaw Man read-through, because some series, a chapter is like 15 minutes or even more. It's kind of a bit of a heavy read sometimes as low as 12 minutes, but it's very, very often and common for Chainsaw Man chapters. Sometimes, again, we have these really heavy story chapters that are going to take a little bit longer to discuss, to go through, but then very often we have a lot of the story told through art, which, takes less time than reading through the actual dialogue, and also a lot of action, which just takes less time to read because it's a bunch of big action panels with nothing to really say other than what's happening and my thoughts on it. So often Chainsaw Man chapters are much shorter to read. I think like 5 or 6 chapters per video is probably pretty simple. I think we only have like 3 or so. Yeah, maybe a little bit. Yeah, only like 3 or 4 volumes left, and I'll just split those volumes into like 2 videos each, doing half a volume per video, and then we'll be caught up in like 2 months or less, I guess. That's the plan for Chainsaw Man. So let's do the first half of volume 16. I guess there's not too much to say getting into the start of this, except I don't know the character that's on the cover of this one, but yeah, I think that's it. I don't think there's anything more to say. So yeah, let's just start reading chapter 134 to start us out. And also, going on to chapter 134, I don't know if did the translation change or did something specific change with the translation, because the actual like Chainsaw Man title is different, like it's a different font or whatever. This one says Chainsaw Man chapter 134 Ordinary Happiness, but it's like different than it has been. The way Chainsaw Man fights is outrageous. Destroying buildings makes him no different from the devils. Who's going to pay for all that property damage? And it looks like that's coming from a TV as Denji walks by. There are reports that Chainsaw Man was involved in the recent disappearance of that aquarium too. The Falling Devil, right? That was nuts. If Chainsaw Man hadn't beaten her, we'd have had a real Nostradamus on our hands. Nostradamus is coming for real, don't you think? And I wonder, they haven't like specifically told us which predictions are being talked about. Just different Nostradamus predictions. And so it's like, are those the same predictions as in like our real world, or are they Chainsaw Man specific different predictions? And if so, why do we just have it continually referenced, but we're not like outright being told what the predictions are? But we're hearing like all of these things that have been happening in part 2 being discussed just in the background as Denji walks along. Chainsaw Man showed up at our school before too. If he beats Nostradamus, won't our school be legendary? Nostradamus isn't a devil, and they're laughing. He goes home, he's drying Nayuta's hair. The news is talking about that Chainsaw Man church again. They're saying there's a bunch of brainwashed, dangerous kids. Look, they're fighting the police. Denji, look. And then, the church's days are numbered, though, because I'm not going to turn into Chainsaw Man anymore. Huh? You aren't? If I do, you'll die. I can't anymore. When he told me I can't be Chainsaw Man, I felt like I'd died inside. But then I thought about it, and I'm pretty content with the life I have now. Nothing beats a normal life. So he is, again, just willing to accept a normal life he has with Nayuta. Do you really think that? Huh? Yeah. Do you really think nothing beats a normal life? I do. I do. Right? And this is almost like a temptation from a devil, like where Denji finally is breaking the cycle of the city mouse and country mouse, and he is actually, I guess not the first character, because Himeno was willing to go that way if not for Aki, but I guess she took the city mouse route where she couldn't give up Aki to live in peace. But here we have Denji kind of being finally able to be like, yeah, there are more things I want, but I'm willing to live the contented life. I'm willing to choose the country mouse route, to go for this, like, content, simple life rather than chasing what I want at the cost of danger. But now we have, again, devil's temptation here with Nayata being like, really? Do you not think you can do better? Do you really think nothing beats it? And then we have her and all the dogs sleeping. He sits on the toilet. I love all the little details like the stickers on the door. Hey, Pochita, for us, this life is like heaven, right? But like, despite that, it's like, now I'm dreaming of an even higher heaven. We can be happy with what we've got, right, Pochita? We don't need to keep fighting. Again, it's the City Mouse and Country Mouse thing. I didn't even think in part 2 would continue to be coming in this hard. Where it's like, in part 1, it was a situation of Denji being like, why couldn't these other people just be happy? Why couldn't these other people be content with what they had? Because going through all of this is what brought about all of their downfall, all of their ruin. And now here he is, much like at the end of part 1, here now in part 2 being like, why can't I be content with what I have? He's making, or at least on the verge of making, the same mistakes that all of these characters that were trying to kill him made, and he's struggling with that choice himself, whether he can be happy with what he has. And then we see Meowie. You can't sleep either, Meowie? Then, that's right, I drink this vegetable juice every day. He's just up late staring at the TV. I wake up feeling more refreshed now. When I recommended it to my grandpa, you see, golf is all about setting your belief in Chainsaw Man aside. I can't accept your organization. He's flipping through the channels. Recruiting students with no real-world experience, fighting protesters. I hear you kids are out there playing Devil Hunter, killing devils every night. Do you have any idea how worried your parents must be? How do you people intend to take responsibility for the lives that have been lost playing Chainsaw Man? And then we see the face of it. Iseumi, something like that. As for our Devil Hunter activities, if we notify the city and the Ministry of Defense in advance, or no, saying we notify the city and the Ministry of Defense in advance. Also, we're active Devil Hunter Club members at school. We have real-life combat experience. This is not just a game to us. Only those who have accepted Chainsaw Man's teachings work as Devil Hunters. What's wrong with following one's sense of justice to save Japanese citizens in an act of self-sacrifice? Oh, and another thing. We hear this Chainsaw Man's teachings crap banded about, but it's not as though he gave you them directly, right? He has. Huh? If you prefer, I can let you hear Chainsaw Man speak for himself now. He takes the hat off. Huh? Blah, says Denji. He turns from the TV and goes to the phone. What? We can talk to Chainsaw Man? No one mentioned that in the meeting. Nobody told me either. Let's call him together. Here we go. Chainsaw Man, and everybody calls out. Is this just going to be like a big show, essentially, and the fake Chainsaw Man's going to show up here? Greetings. I am Chainsaw Man. He walks up. I'm coming to you from the Chainsaw Man Church. And again, with the posture and everything, is it Yoshida? Yes, the rumors are true. My body is halfway between human and devil. I gained the power to turn into Chainsaw Man in a fateful encounter with the Justice Devil. The reason I fight? I fight to create a world without devils. In a devilless world, Adam and Eve will... Wrong! Denji, I've never thought that stuff. I don't fight for any reason. His face. I died a gazillion times, and the next thing I knew, people were calling me Chainsaw Man on their own. Your guy isn't Chainsaw Man. Man, there's a lot of deep stuff going on here. I feel like I need to think about it more. Like, I feel like I'm going to need to think about this a lot more. Like a devilish world. Like, I feel like this is one of those things where by next week I'll have deeper thoughts on it. because like I don't really know what they mean fully. Like creating the devilous world, Adam and Eve, and then of course all of the stuff that Denji's going through. With he did have a reason to fight, but also he was kind of just forced to fight in most cases, and all of this Chainsaw Man that's spreading out of control, none of it was really to his doing to begin with in any way. Sure, he liked some of it, but like he didn't really start it or play into it that much. I'm more Chainsaw Man than him. There. Like, the whole reaction that he has to this isn't really what I would expect. Like, maybe wanting to run off to prove that it's not Chainsaw Man, or like just show, or just confusion. Like, obviously I'm Chainsaw Man, so he isn't. But this being sad and broken over it, being I'm more Chainsaw Man than him. Man, really, really good chapter though. We got really deep into some character stuff. But, either way, we have a lot more we get to read, so let's go to 135. Chapter 135, Sentimental Drive. And then, on a television program late last night, Chainsaw Man revealed his human form. Although he hid his face with a hat, his handsome looks are causing a stir. Supposedly, phone calls to the Chainsaw Man Church from prospective members are currently surging. Additionally, because this self-proclaimed Chainsaw Man did not transform on the program, some are calling his claims into question. And now we have Asa watching. There's no way this stand-up guy is Chainsaw Man. Chainsaw Man is stupid and crude and simple-minded, but he saved my life multiple times. Is Chainsaw Man truly your prince in shining armor? And Yoru's eating. Yes, perhaps he saved your life, but he's my mortal enemy, and I plan to kill him. How could you fall in love with Chainsaw Man, of all people? I have not. And then, it's not like I like him, he saved me again and again. You fall for men so easily, Asa. Yoru, are you in a good mood or something? Normally you fly into a rage when I say so much as one good word about Chainsaw Man. Heh. War draws nigh. Falling Devil's mere presence temporarily reversed gravity in places all over the world. All nations suffered damage and simultaneously became poorer. When humans want money, they always go to war, and once they do, they will all remember and fear me. If you get your strength back, won't you not need to kill Chainsaw Man anymore? Of course I will. I'll use my renewed strength to kill him. It's time you got your head out of the clouds. Forget he ever saved you. This is a good reminder panel. No flashbacks. I told you forget it. How can I help it? The memories will well up on their own. Then don't think, fool. I love that. Sentimental Drive, written by Asamitaka. The day we went on our first motorcycle ride, I felt your body heat for the first time. Your head was a chainsaw, yet I couldn't deny that your warmth was human, that of someone alive. In retrospect, every time you saved my life, my body's cold as can be, frozen as ice. Although I'm doomed to always end up all alone, you always came to my rescue, that much I know. Don't receive some embarrassing poem. It's a poetry reading. Are you eating that plain? And Fami's just there. Yeah, I love both of them freaking out the same. I love that. When did you get there? Can I eat this? The door was locked. How'd you get in? Can I eat this? What's her deal? Famine, what do you want? Can I eat this? I love Famine. I freaking love Famine. I feel like whenever I do a part 2 character ranking, I guess maybe when I catch up would be a good place to do it like I did for part 1. I feel like I've got to go Famine really high on the list. I'm here to grant both your wishes. Our wishes? Yeah, can I look in your fridge? Leave it once or I'll kill you. And then also wants to help Chainsaw Man. Yoru wants to kill him. It's possible to choose both. How? It's also interesting the frowning look that Famine always gives when she's speaking. At the moment, Chainsaw Man has given up on fighting devils to lead an ordinary human life. Huh? The problem is that Chainsaw Man's own heart prevents him from being an ordinary human. Even weakling devils can become powerful by eating strong devils, those who are feared. It's why devils are constantly after him, trapping him in a cycle of violence. Many of the Chainsaw Man Church's followers were saved by Chainsaw Man. We want to save him this time. We're hunting down all the devils in town so that he won't have to fight. If everyone forgets about Chainsaw Man, he'll grow weak as a devil, and then he can live an ordinary life. I want you to join the Chainsaw Man Church and fight with us, Asa. Why? Someone who's been saved should want to return the favor. Save Chainsaw Man, you must be joking. Even if Asa agrees, I refuse, says Yoru. Is it the red Chainsaw Man you want? Is it the red... Sorry, I missed it there. Is it the red Chainsaw Man you want to fight, Yoru? Excuse me? Isn't it this black Chainsaw Man? And we see the one that's lost all control from before. Oh, Black Chainsaw Man and Red Chainsaw Man are not the same person. I'm surprised you didn't realize, since we sisters have no interest in faces, human or devil. True, I'm not surprised you didn't realize. Okay, that makes sense. We saw the same thing happen with Makima, of course, not really understanding Denji, not actually recognizing Denji's face. If you want to fight Black Chainsaw Man, you'll need to turn Red Chainsaw Man back into an ordinary human. But the Chainsaw Man that Asa wants to save, and the Chainsaw Man that Yoru wants to kill, are different beings. Join the Chainsaw Man Church, and you can help each other. But why should we trust you? You were secretly manipulating things that time with Yuko, and the aquarium, and this Chainsaw Man Church is totally fishy. Also, could you not leave my fridge open? And for that matter, that Chainsaw Man on TV was totally phony too. Correct, he's a fake. A double to protect Chainsaw Man from devils. You don't have to trust me. I'm asking you to trust the church's followers. So again, this is all to weaken him, to kill... But again, since Pochita is Denji's heart, how do you kill the Chainsaw Man without killing Denji? They're honestly trying to save Chainsaw Man, and that still doesn't explain the imposter Chainsaw Man, because the imposter one still does have some level of power to be able to go to hell and attack Falling Devil. And then she looks at the one on TV. In other news, today in the early hours of the morning, a member of the Chainsaw Man Church defeated the Carpenter Bee Devil that had infested an apartment building here in Tokyo. This female high school student is making headlines for defeating over 10 devils this month alone, despite not being a devil hunter. She's a volunteer, right? It's admirable. Isn't she paid with the believers' money? How to put it? Quit playing devil hunter. That Chainsaw Man Church member, Asamitaka. So we jump ahead in time to her being competent enough to be able to kill this many devils? Whereas beforehand, she's been fairly incompetent as a devil hunter. I heard it wasn't Chainsaw Man who defeated the Eternity Devil at the aquarium. It was actually Asa. Someone said they saw her fight a devil at school, too. There's even a report that Asa Mitaka was in the apartment building that Cockroach Devil destroyed. And she doesn't have the scar here, so she isn't Yoru unless... Well, I was going to say she isn't Yoru unless the scar is only there for us as readers to know which one's in control, which might also be the case because the other characters talking to her, like Yoshida, didn't bring up the fact that her face would have a scar at one moment and not the next moment. So that might just be for us readers, but also it might actually be Asa in control, given that Yoru can't really make powerful weapons in the same way that Asa can. Maybe all of Chainsaw Man's kills were actually Mitaka's. Asa Mitaka, he thinks. And then we end there. So of course he's going to obviously recognize that she's the one doing this. And it's a question of how long can Denji hang on, really. Because if Denji can hang on, not expose himself as Chainsaw Man, and actually truly live a normal life as a normal person with Nayuta, then the plan can go through. They can kill people for Chainsaw Man, people will fear him less, he'll become weaker, and then eventually they somehow kill Pochita but leave him alive. Basically, the plan that Fami and the others are going through with works out. But the thing that could throw this plan awry, the thing, of course, that ends all of this, would be Denji revealing himself. Denji not being able to take other people taking credit for him anymore, his name not being in the public conscience anymore, and showing up to confront them about it is what could ruin this for him, this life that he has. And the plan that they have, which I think the plan is dangerous for Denji anyway. I think that they're not actually planning to kill Pochita but not Denji. They just want to kill Chainsaw and Denji's going along with it, and they're kind of lying to Asa, is what I think. Because, and it might even be out of a sense of admiration. Like, it might not just be killing him because he's Chainsaw, like people wanted to before. It might really be killing him out of admiration, like weakening him and then killing him, to save him from being trapped as Chainsaw Man. But the end goal is still the same. The end goal, I think, Denji dies along with Chainsaw Man. I don't see how you kill Chainsaw Man without killing Denji. We're on to 136, Normal Life. And we just have a full page of just a normal life. Then a student approaches. Hey, is that a Chainsaw Man shirt? Who are you? You should know that, like, among the well-informed, there's this theory that Chainsaw Man's stealing all the credit for Asumitaka's accomplishments. She's a student at our school. Huh? Assuming it's true, do you still plan on wearing Chainsaw Man clothes? In a sense, because in a sense, you'd be supporting a victimizer. He's getting cancelled. What? Hey, you two. Did I just hear you dissing Chainsaw Man? Who are you? What's with you dudes? In the name of Chainsaw Man, I'll punish you. And he hauls off and punches Denji. You listening to me, Denji? You're lucky I'm not suspending you. In my experience, kids without parents are quick to start fights. Next time, it's the red card for you. Got it? And now, of course, he's getting in trouble for fights that other people started. I mean, in this world, wouldn't, like, most kids at this point be kids without parents? I hear you put the other guy in the hospital. We have Yoshida. He lost one tooth. Well, I guess even ordinary high schoolers get into fights. Not that I'd really know either. Skipping school to hang out would make us ordinary high schoolers? Or think skipping school to hang out would make us ordinary high schoolers? And then what is this going on? There's a movie playing, but it seems like there's a dead devil laying in front of it. Maybe they used it as an excuse to skip school and watch the movie to say that they're killing a devil. Even knowing we're cutting class, this isn't that fun, is it? No talking during the movie. Everyone evacuated. Who's gonna complain? 32 minutes ago, a devil appeared in the theater. It was killed by the theater's devil hunters within a mere 2 minutes. All that's left is to remove the body. Even without Chainsaw Man, problems get solved. You aren't the protagonist of this movie. It's not like the world will end without you. Oh, looks like she made it here before the corpse collectors. Huh? A girl in my class wants to have a date with you. I set you two up. Bye. Knock her socks off. Hey. And of course he's probably... Again, he's doing all this to show him you can live a normal life, the world will go on without you, and he's probably even maybe trying to set her up with a normal girl, again, just to further try to entrench him in a normal life. Is this what it's like to be normal? Yeah, it is. And the hesitation before he spoke, again, I don't think Yoshida knows what it's like to be normal. Sorry, like, I'm super down in the dumps right now. I'm an amazing person, but I doubt I'm going to be all that charming today. There's all this stuff I can't do now, and I don't know what to do with myself. What am I even getting at? I guess I just want to be alone right now, and he hasn't even looked at her. So like, what? She's touching my wiener. And he's immediately going to that. What? Huh? She's touching my wiener. He's freaking out even more. His face. So again, I just think Yoshida supplying him with what's essentially prostitutes. Again, I think that Yoshida is just trying to sweeten the deal. He is trying to make Denji show that he can have things he wants without being Chainsaw Man. He's trying to force the normal life upon him, essentially. And again, that's not really quote unquote normal. And like I said, I don't know that Yoshida knows what normal is. So this is cool. This is neat. Let's see what we get with 137. Hey, senpai. You're a virgin, right? Right? Huh? Want me to have sex with you? I've got nothing better to do anyway. And then, go. Lick that dead devil. Do that for me and I'll let you have sex with me. And then 137. Choo choo, lovely moony moony mura mura. Hey, okay, you're kinda sketchy. Huh? A girl suddenly approaching me? It's way too convenient. For starters, why would you want to have a date with me when we've never even met? Well, either she's, again, working for Yoshida, the Devil Hunters, even the Chainsaw Man Church if he's involved, but I don't really necessarily think he is. I mean, he looks kind of like the fake, but at the same time, he might not be. It could be just totally a different new character. But we do know he's working with the Devil Hunters, for the state, and what they want him to do is not be Chainsaw Man, as well as the Chainsaw Man Church, so there might even be kind of collusion between the two. Basically, essentially the same group at the heart of it all. So she's either working for them, and she knows, or... Yeah, wait. Yeah, she's either been put up to it by them, or she's very, very, very easy. Look, I've matured. I don't fall for honey traps anymore. Besides, I'm sick and tired of mindlessly obeying somebody for the bait that's dangled right in front of me. True. He might have even gone for it if it wasn't for her saying, go do this and then I'll do it. Just asking for him to, telling him to do something first, not even asking him, telling him to do something first, probably soured the deal right then and there. Got it? Then get out of here. And have some respect for yourself, is what he's thinking as he licks it. So again, we're seeing that he still doesn't have the restraint that he wants to have. He's thinking of what he wanted to say, how he wanted to reply, but he's not, strong enough to do it, pretty much. She's laughing. Do it like you're sucking a popsicle, senpai. And then, she's cute, he thinks. And we have Fujimoto karaoke. We're gonna have sex at a karaoke place? We can never get a room at a love hotel in school uniforms. From people, I have heard people who were, karaoke place employees, who are now YouTubers. I have heard them say before, Japanese YouTubers I watch, say, not a good place to do it either. They're we have cameras in the rooms and they were you don't even know how often we have to go into rooms and tell people to stop having sex. Plus, a friend of a friend works here part-time. They'll turn a blind eye. Okay, so they're actually covering that base. Well, in that case, shall we get to it? Before we begin, smooch, smooch, lovely, gropey, gropey, horny, horny, jiggle, jiggle, boing, slick, licky, licky. She's singing, and he is just, again, the same sort of... It feels like ever since being given the quote-unquote normal life in part 2, he has kind of just been... kind of just drifting through it. It seems like Denji's not, all the way there as a person. He's kind of just drifting aimlessly through the life he has right now. She's singing. Seems like it wasn't a trap, though. That's good, I guess. I don't think it's a trap. I don't think it's a trap in the sense that she's not going to want to do things with him. I think it's a trap in the sense that she's doing this because she was like, it's all part of, whether she's conscious that it's all part of the plan or not, it's all part of the plan. So I'm kind of having fun, so I'll roll with it. That girl's got rock and roll. Rip off her pantyhose, boom, see through her exposed bot. Okay, you stalkers can't deny your kinky pleasures. Now it's time to mosh together. Maybe being normal ain't so bad after all. And then, okay, somebody comes in to attack him. So was it actually somewhat of a trap? That's, yeah, a whole mob of people, actually. What on earth? So this has to not be connected with Yoshida or the church, right? Because both Yoshida and the church want him to not transform. And having a mob of people attack him seems like it'd be something trying to goad him into transforming. Or is it just to see if he'll have the willpower to resist, to fight them off without transforming? But it seems like they wouldn't even want to test that. They would want to lull him into a sense of security. They would want him to not even have a chance of failing. So it's weird that they would even test his resolve with this. Yeah, and then we have just people lined up. Okay. And again, I'm trying to take in the lyrics too, to see if it's related to anything. And he runs out with a bat himself. Still fighting. And he's taking out the whole hallway of people. Aren't you going to sing the second verse? This seems more fun. And she has a bat too? What on earth is going on? I thought I knew what was going on, but I don't. Unless they really are just trying to test him to see if he'll transform. But it just feels like that would be so pointless on their part, or even counterproductive. It seems much more productive if they just had her have sex with him, and then have her, even again, if she's not aware that that's why she's doing it, be his girlfriend, or even pretend to be his girlfriend if she is in on it, and try to just, again, have other people kill the devils, try to force his life to be as quote-unquote normal as possible, so that he just forgets about this whole world of being Chainsaw Man and fighting devils, and it seems like that would be the way to do it. So it's weird that Yoshida was the one to set this up, because again, this feels like it would run counterproductive to what they want. And then again, it's like, what does she want? How much does she know? Who is she working for or with? Is she doing this on Yoshida's behalf, which would again feel counterproductive? Or is she doing this of her own will and she has her own plans? Is she some sort of traitor to the cause? That's a really, really weird one though, because it's one thing where it's like, okay, this will look cool in the anime. He's fighting all these people with a bat. But story-wise, I feel like this could just be another one of those, it looks cool but isn't really a great story that Chainsaw Man does from time to time. But we'll see. And I mean, like, that's overall Chainsaw Man. I don't want to say Chainsaw Man has a bad story. Chainsaw Man's story is generally pretty alright most of the time, but it's more about the visuals, and it's more about the experience. It's kind of like watching a movie. Chainsaw Man's about the cinematography of it all. Like all of these really cool shots, just really sequences that even if they don't always make a lot of sense, look really cool. That's really what Chainsaw Man's about. The overall story is usually one of the weaker aspects of Chainsaw Man. So it's like, I don't know how seriously I should be taking this in a story context. And we'll finish off the first half of the volume with 138. The two of them are facing off in the hallway. She charges them, and then somebody from behind pulls a gun. She throws the bat to stop him. Huh? Jeez, it's only a model gun. Don't scare me like that. Makes sense, though. Guys attacking with baseball bats wouldn't have a gun, would they? Aren't you my enemy? Huh? Why would I be your enemy? You were freaking singing while I fought those dudes. Her name is Fumiko Mifune. She's your junior. And then Yoshida's there. Why are you here? I'm with Public Safety Devil Extermination Special Division 7. I'm in charge of guarding you and other stuff during your student life, Denji-senpai. And that's why I'm in high school at age 22. If you're my bodyguard, how come you kept singing when I got attacked? Why is that? Says Yoshida. So okay, she was doing it all on her own. 'Cause I don't want my songs getting interrupted. What's wrong with you guys? And again, if neither of them sent the guys with baseball bats, why were there random guys with baseball bats? Anyway, you are Chainsaw Man. Getting attacked by someone who knows your identity comes with the territory. That's why I assigned a bodyguard to you. No possessions we can use to identify them. I thought as much. So, Chainsaw Man's strong even when he doesn't transform, huh? I was impressed. You were super cool, you know. You're only coming on to me as part of your job, right? Talk about a letdown. I really am into you, though, Senpai. You are? How could I not be? Senpai, you're the one and only Chainsaw Man. And again, it's not as deep as I thought with them trying to lead him into a normal life, but I don't know. They're still trying to lead him into a normal life. It's just that they're not as competent as I thought they were being there. As for you, do your job. Sorry, Denji. I'll get her straight. You won't have to fight again. Know what? Sure. So again, fighting again is a test to see whether he'd transform, and I mean, not on purpose, of course, it seems, but it's weird. And of course they said, oh, they know your identity, so you'd be attacked. Why would these random people with bats know that Denji was Chainsaw Man, but then, like, people that are closer don't? Again, just weird story-wise. Feels kind of forced. Now we have Asa just laying in front of the TV. In our next segment, we'll be looking into the beautiful high school devil hunter everyone's been talking about. Beautiful. The buzz about the beauty. This recognition we're receiving isn't so bad. I feel as though a thirst of mine is being quenched. We aren't doing this for the praise, though. We're doing it to save Chainsaw Man. Indeed, if we do this to kill Chainsaw Man... Indeed, we do this to kill Chainsaw Man. Still, it's maddening to think that Chainsaw Man also experienced this rush. Fame doesn't feel so great to me. In fact, it creeps me out. Why? Why? It's because it's an invasion of my privacy or something. Then we have all the people analyzing her on TV. She smiles. I think. And now we see a flyer for the Chainsaw Man Church. Join the Chainsaw Man Church. Support Chainsaw Man as a Chainsaw Man Church member. Ticks you off, doesn't it? How they're putting Chainsaw Man side by side with some fresh-faced nobody. Asamitaka. Chainsaw Man Church poster girl, Chainsaw Man Church poster girl / high school student. They say scars appear on her face when she fights devils. So you can see that? So why have people not questioned this before? A pretty memorable character, isn't she? Why do strangers keep talking to me lately? You don't know me. It's cool. I don't remember you either. You ought to know me, though, Chainsaw Man. Okay, for real, who are you? If they call you Chainsaw Man, that'd make me Sword Man. Let's go with that. So, he's the sword guy, devil hunter, that was working with Makima before. And the way that they were only showing the bottom part of his face made me think... I was thinking maybe he was going to be the fake, but I mean, it's still possible because the fake looked like they had black hair. But I don't know, this person's face and posture don't quite look the same. I feel like the face and posture look more like Yoshida than this guy for the fake. Let's go with that. Seriously, who is this loser? Right! Real Denji... Would real Denji even really particularly know this guy? Because he was, for the most part, when fighting them... I mean, I guess at the very end, right? At the very end, he and Swordman would have been at the same place when they fought in the graveyard, right? When Denji fought all of those people with Makima, they would have met at least there, right? Unless I'm remembering wrong. But like the first time, it wasn't Denji in control. So if he wasn't there the second time, then maybe he didn't see him. But I don't know why he wouldn't have been there the second time. Maybe he wasn't. Either way, though, that is the end of these 5. Pretty solid. I don't think as solid as the last volume was. The Falling Devil stuff was really, really, really fun. And also, not only was it really fun, there was a lot of really cool moments, which is kind of what Chainsaw Man does. And I think the story overall was simpler, but more effective. Whereas the story's gotten complicated here, but it's like all of a sudden Asa, again, she probably uses Yoru to fight after she makes the weapon or whatever, and then Yoru does the fighting. But it's like Asa's really good and famous out of nowhere within like the course of 2 chapters, and it's like that's kind of unsatisfying. And we have been in part 2, I guess, seeing things almost solely from Asa's point of view, but we barely saw from her point of view this time. It was almost solely Denji's, and I honestly think Denji's a little bit less interesting of a character, so it would have been neat to see Asa becoming famous instead of just immediately, okay, she's famous now and we're not really seeing from her point of view, and instead we see from Denji's point of view, which is less interesting, to be honest. There were less cool moments, and the story, a lot of the places here feels pretty forced. I don't think these 5 chapters were really that great compared to the previous ones. I mean, it was still, it was nice, it was whatever. It's going somewhere, I have to wait for it to go somewhere. But as far as setup and build up and going somewhere goes, I think this is maybe one of the weaker sections, the weakest section in part 2 so far. But I am still excited to see where it goes. So we'll do the second half of volume 16 next week. But that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of these chapters, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more Chainsaw Man, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it is free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. If you want to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, it is appreciated. Or if you want to help support the channel and also help me keep making videos, but get your name at the end of every video, get One Piece videos a little bit early, then hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and members. Thank you to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FR Nono, Abyss Knight, JA, The D-Ban, and Irony, Cheriton Students, David Linkstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stans Eater, and Pure Element Pate Ardell. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.